Welcome to Destination Wedding Planning Made Easy, where your team at Destination Weddings Expert talks about all things weddings. Join us as we talk about tips, tricks, and those all too easy pitfalls to avoid when planning your big day. All right, hello and welcome back to Destination Wedding Planning Made Easy. We have a special episode for you guys today, and we're super excited. You are joined, of course, by myself and then Prissy from the team at Destination Weddings Expert. And we have some special guests today, Abby and Devon. Devon, thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited to have you guys with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
Welcome.
Absolutely. Cool. So this was fun because we actually got to witness your wedding. We came
We crashed the wedding.
just
I love it
at the
though.
property that day. So we wanted to kind of jump in and have a conversation with you guys, talk about your planning experience. There were some unique situations, we'll call them, for the wedding, and so we wanted to talk a little bit about that, and just kind of chat it up. So I think first things first, let's talk about what made you guys choose Destination Weddings Expert. What did your kind of beginning process look like as you were kind of kicking things off?
Definitely. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having us here. Very excited to be doing this with you all. We love you all.
First of all, thank you for working with us too.
Our pleasure.
Thank you for working with us.
I would say when we were on the search for somebody to help us plan the wedding for whatever that looks like, we didn't know at the time. We were so like uneducated in what we needed out of somebody or a group to help us put this together. When I started looking around, I think actually we stumbled across like just like random like Instagram videos and like
TikTok.
wedding planners and TikToks and all this stuff. And somehow I think I landed on your Instagram page. And just like looking through the content, I was like, wow, it's like they seem like they are very genuine. They know what they're doing. They plan a bunch of different types of groups. And I think in just starting this journey, we didn't know how far this was going to go for us in terms of who would be involved, what it would look like, what the costs were, and all of that. I think we did a couple of chats just with other people, and Mario from the first meeting with you, and then introducing us to Prissy. Like it was honestly, it felt right. It felt like we're friends. It felt like you had our back, and that was most important. Like just like seeing too, and like some of these Facebook groups, some of like the travel agents and teams, like they can be very aggressive, and we just like never felt that with you guys, and we appreciate it.
I think that's one of the things that our team brings to the table that, it all, there's all these different styles out there, right? There's the advisors and the planners that just kind of go after numbers, and we're trying to get as many people as possible. And then there's groups like us who it's more so about the concierge style service, the making sure that, that we're there to be your advocate. You've hired us, you've signed our contract, we're there to make sure that we're representing you along the way, and we're not here to represent our hotel partners or our tour operator partners, or they're amazing and we wouldn't recommend them if we didn't trust them. But in the end, we want to make sure we have your back and making sure that your group has an amazing time.
Yeah.
And she's usually indecisive. So when she came to me, she said that she was comfortable with you guys. So it just made sense.
I'm very indecisive.
It's
Shout out to you, Prissy, because I know I probably showed my indecisiveness a few times.
okay though. That's what we're here for. Like we got to the major decision, so that's all that matters.
And I think it's one of the amazing things that, that's whether you're working with Prissy or myself or any of the experts on our team, that's Prissy does a phenomenal job at bringing her knowledge of the industry to the table, right? This is your first time planning a destination wedding. That's the only time planning a destination wedding, and so we want to make sure that all the experience that everything that we've experienced over the years, working with the specific resort that you choose, or just going through the process, or why we do a room block, or the tour operators. We want to bring that all to the table and bring you up to speed as quickly as possible, so you understand why we're making some of the decisions that we make, or why we're doing things a certain way. All of it, down to the emails that we send out to your group, have a specific purpose and cover a specific piece of the process that we want to make sure, it brings everyone kind of even playing field.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now we've had our consult that you guys got to chat with. Actually, most couples don't get to chat with both Prissy and I, which was a little bit unique in you guys' situation. We had a blast doing it. But now we've had our consult and we've started doing our research on the properties. What made you guys kind of land on Dreams Macao? What really stood out to you that you was like, you know what, that's the one?
Oh man, that was a process. I think we had a lot of back and forth on that,
Yeah.
but it was all like good back and forth. I think we weighed a lot of different things. We already established I'm indecisive, but Prissy was great in proposing. Actually, we looked at, I think, Mexico and DR, and then I think I quickly ruled out Mexico, which at the time I know like some people were like uncomfortable, other people were like, it just, I think Mario, even you weighed in of like flights from where we're located.
Yeah.
And then once we got on Dominican Republic and then we started looking at resorts, we thought about so many things. A lot of people, it's their first trip. We have people on all different types of levels for income and what they would probably want to spend. We have people who really love the fine dining, the fancy stuff, and then we have people who couldn't care if they're, we're getting married inside of like a McDonald's, like there's just like so wide of like a net that we were casting in terms of our audience that was going to be there. So one thing that was a non-negotiable for me is I wanted something that had decent food, decent drinks, allowed kids while not being too kid friendly. Because we love all inclusives. Well, at least I do. I know you're like, I'm over them, but I love going to a good all inclusive where I don't have to think. I can show up, I can enjoy my meal, enjoy my drinks. And we've always done more of like the adult only, higher end, like luxury style all inclusives. And we knew if we wanted people to show up, we needed to consider all of those factors. So we I think Prissy gave me a list of, oh God, I feel like it was a lot. And then we went back and
We went
then we kept
through a
looking at some
couple.
more. We went through a bunch.
And they were like, no, okay.
Yeah, it was a lot. And then I think we added some back in. Well, I was like, what about this one? And then Prissy, you were great with giving like your honest feedback, also what past brides had liked and didn't like. And we really settled on Dreams because I think it tailored to just about everything that we were looking for. It gave a high-end luxury vibe. It's very put together, clean resort, very aesthetic, and also affordable for a lot of people, very affordable. And also, it's not one of those massive, overwhelming resorts that, people would need golf carts to get from point A to point B, but it's also not a super tiny where you're running into, the same person every second. So I really feel like that helped with our decision-making process and just like understanding Dreams, what their offering was, what their wedding packages were, but also how it was really able to speak to everyone from all walks of life that we would want to have there with us.
And everybody had different options from
Oh yeah.
the 7 restaurants, the 3 different pools,
Oh yeah.
the Mexican, the truck.
Oh my God, the
Yeah,
truck.
yeah.
I
So,
love that. I wish I spent more time at the truck. That was good.
I think, I love that response because that is, when you're planning your individual vacation, right? Your options are a little bit more open. You can go anywhere, you can do anything, you work within your own budget, that you can plan everything to your specific needs. I love that you guys considered your entire group as you're doing it, right? It's not just about your budget, it's about what can the group afford, at least the majority of the group, right?
Yeah.
It's making sure that there's entertainment options and dining options and making sure that the travel experience goes smooth. And I do kind of agree on some of the things that you said about Dreams Macao as a whole. Just it is a nice, clean, modern resort. It does offer a little bit of everything for everyone. Obviously, you can't please everyone in the group at all times, right? Someone is going to end up with some shit that happened, and that's for whatever reason their eyes are rolling, and that's going to happen. But as a whole, we want to make sure we deliver on a good experience for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. So now let's talk a little bit. I kind of put the cart before the horse. Let's talk about why a destination wedding in general. What made you guys decide that you wanted to kind of get out of town?
at first, I didn't want a destination wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
You had the most fun.
I
Right?
did,
Right?
but
He had the most fun.
at first I was worried about who would show up, who couldn't afford
Okay.
it, who would cancel at the last minute, you know. So that was like one of the biggest things I was worried about. So I wanted it in Jersey or New York at first, but then me and her had a
Yeah.
conversation and she talked me into it. So yeah.
I'm very convincing.
Yeah. But
Um,
I'm glad though. That
yeah. It
that's
definitely, we
vacation.
would never do anything different. Like if we had to do it all over again, we would just do that again.
Yeah.
We've thought about it a lot. And for me personally, I've been to weddings here, like home and where I'm born and raised in upstate New York. And honestly, no shade on weddings. They just feel stuffy. It feels like you do all of this work for one big day and it's over in a couple hours and just not having the best time. Like how many times have you gone to a wedding and you just show up as a guest, you sit at the table and then you leave, right? One thing too for us, we've never done a friend trip. Never in our 10 years of being together have we done a friends trip. We always just do solo travel. With the family, we like go just local and do things with the families, but we have just like never done anything to show people really our world. And we do love to travel. We like to do exciting things. We like to try new places. And I really was like, it'd be so cool if we could just bring everybody together and have like one big trip, one big party, get everybody knowing each other, show them little bits and pieces of our world, individually and as a couple. And that's exactly why I really wanted to do a destination wedding. And again, like I would do that time and time again, not saying we're going to get divorced and remarry, but
We can do a
like,
vow
maybe
renewal.
vow renewal, like we'll do it again. That was the one thing I said. I was like, I want to do this again. And my mom was like, "You're not gonna get married again, are you?" I was like, well, like with him, just
Just
do
the
it
party
again.
aspect.
I think that's one of the. I think that's. Oh, sorry, Prissy. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think that's one of the great things about destination weddings. It's a gift to the people
Yeah,
who don't love travel or who may have been waiting to travel with a group or to be
yeah,
comfortable or to just have somebody to show them how to do it.
yeah. Or just
So,
like a purpose to go and get out of
yeah,
their day-to-day life. And there
yeah,
were so many people who they just got their passports
Yeah,
for
for
the
the
first
first
mhm,
time.
time
Yep.
yeah,
doing this,
Yeah.
which was
yeah.
really eye-opening. Like, wow, like we made people do that. So
Mhm.
it's special.
Yeah.
It was funny because Mario and I, we were sitting in the lobby bar, just minding our business. And you never really notice if people are looking at you. But one, I think it was your mom and your aunt. They came up and they had the
We are.
email on their phone. Yours, Devon. They had the
Okay.
email on their phone. They were like, "Is this you?" Like, is this it? And I'm like, "Yeah." So it was a nice moment. Just, we never know if people open those emails, if they
Yeah.
read them, if they
Yeah.
scroll to the bottom to see my picture. So it was just nice,
Yeah.
a full circle moment for me. Like, okay, this is helpful. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
still has it in her phone. She hasn't deleted it. She recognizes me. So,
I love
a
that.
That's
cool
nice.
moment.
I love
I
that.
like that. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's that's the thing with destination weddings is it brings everyone together for a few days because the wedding itself is stressful for everyone. It's stressful for the guests. You got to get dressed. You got to look right. You got to show up. It's obviously stressful for the couple. Just making sure that this is the big day. This is when everything happens. But then with a destination wedding, you have all the days before and afterwards to actually spend time with your people, get a little one-on-one time with everyone, make sure that they're having a good time. It is nice to kind of get that multi-day experience in there. And I
Yeah. Our
think
social battery is kind of, yeah.
We have so many friends after we're back asking us, "Do you want to hang out?" And we're like, "Wait, we just need a second."
We need like a month of,
But we would still do it again, but we just need we need 2 seconds.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I can't tell you how many of our couples kind of come back to us and like, hey, we're going to turn this into an annual trip. Let's,
Yeah.
go somewhere different. Or sometimes they go back to the same hotel. We have one couple right now. Actually, my meeting directly after this is with a couple who got married 5 years ago with us and are now going back to the same hotel, smaller group this time. Obviously, not everyone is going, but it's just, to turn it into that group trip because
Yeah.
it's fun.
I love that. That is so important. That's a good idea too.
So this part's going to be a two-part one. First, Abby and Devon, I'm going to ask you guys, and then Prissy, I'm going to talk to you about our process. But it's Abby and Devon, how many guests came from your original guest list?
Mhm. Our original guest list was what,
114.
114.
Yeah, I think so.
I think 114 with plus ones for most people that we were giving plus ones to. And then I'm forgetting the numbers. Do you remember them? Leading up to it, I think right down to like the last minute, I think we had like 68, and then we ended with 74, including us being there. We had one person, unfortunately, they had passport issues last minute. They did not come. But yeah, we actually had much higher turnout from what I would have anticipated with that, honestly.
So for the ones that didn't read our emails about the passport reminders,
Oh my God. They didn't even read his text messages. They just
there's
some
always
you
someone.
can't win them all.
Had to create a
always
different
one.
group chat
Yeah.
and make sure
We
everybody
were,
was responding.
yeah.
Yep,
There's just some battles you cannot win.
listen, we try. It is frustrating on our side too.
Oh my God, I don't know how you guys do that. I would have thrown my laptop out the window.
It's just a thick skin. You get used to
Good, good.
So now, Prissy, that's on that kind of on that same note. Can you talk a little bit about our process on how we estimate from the couple's guest list to the number of rooms that we end up holding? Talk us through a little bit about what that process looks like and how we end up where we end up, because I just did the math on my phone and our estimation would have been spot on. So
Mhm. So we take a percentage of that guest list. What is it, 80%, Mario? So
between
we
70 and 80.
70 to 80% of who you're inviting that we expect to come. And so, based on that invite list, that's how many rooms that we plan to hold. We talked a lot about, early on, Devon, you were saying that you were worried with people canceling last minute. We structure our groups so that if someone does cancel last minute, that's not on you. So once the guests start booking, they are responsible for their own reservations. Like it's their money that's tied up. We are teaching them how to protect their money because we encourage everyone to get travel protection. I send everyone a travel protection quote. They don't book it. And even if you don't book it from my quote, book travel protection somewhere. It protects you when life happens. So we are in the background building that group, making sure everyone understands when the deposits are due, when the second payments are due, when the final payments are due. Sometimes people might need a couple of extra days. So I'm working with the suppliers just to make sure everyone has what they need to attend that wedding. And in the end, your group held. Like to
Yeah.
only miss one person last minute because
That's
they did not
crazy.
get their passport, that's a big success story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
And
did good.
you did an amazing job communicating with everybody
Yeah.
too.
The timing
Yeah.
of all of
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
Even the people that were at the
Yeah.
last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The last minute add-ons.
Yeah.
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 You know,
Yep.
we talked at the beginning of the call about, some of the questions we ask in our processes and how they work. And those are one of the things that Prissy and I slide into our conversations that for you guys, it comes off as just, hey, we're trying to get an idea of how many people are coming. But really what we're doing on the back end is trying to protect you from taking on extra liability. So it's when we say that we're holding 40 rooms, it's because we calculated it based on your original guest list, bringing it down to how many people are actually going to come, holding those number of rooms. Because if we hold 40 rooms and you're coming to us and telling us that you need 60, we're going to talk to you about what that actually looks like, because that extra 20 rooms is actually another $40,000 to $50,000 of liability on the back end that you don't realize you're taking on when you're looking at this stuff, right? So that's a lot of kind of those conversations or those simple questions that we ask that really make it so that we're being as successful as possible with the room block.
Absolutely. We definitely appreciated that too, because if I had to try to guess that on my own, I would have been way off.
So now we talked about kind of some of the stuff that went well. Talk to me about what would you change if you had to do it all over again? Would there be anything that really stuck out to you that like we shouldn't have did that venue, or we shouldn't have done, this decor? Was there something that you're just like, you know what, we could have made a better decision on that?
Honestly, I had the best time of my life.
Yeah,
From
for
the
like the
day we
year.
got there to the day we left, from the welcome party, the wedding. We had a
Yeah.
boat party that Friday.
Yes.
Everything was spot
Yeah.
on. I wouldn't change anything, honestly.
I think though the one thing that maybe we agreed on though, at one point, we didn't talk about it leading up to this, but that comes to my mind now though, is I would have loved if we started sooner. And I think we can agree on that too. Yeah.
Mhm.
I know obviously there was a lot of hiccups, and I spoke about how my dad was in an accident the year that we got engaged, which really just left a lot of uncertainties. And then when finally we felt like, okay, we can focus on us now, it was like, Oh man, we feel a little late to the game for when we want to get married, which ultimately was on my parents' anniversary. And we really want this date. It's a good date. It works. But I do feel like we were kind of late to the game.
Yeah.
And I think if I could go back and do it again, I would just have planned earlier because honestly, we probably just would have had more people.
Mhm.
But everything happens for
But
a
everything
reason.
does happen for a reason. And like looking back at it, there's literally nothing like we would actually change. Like it all worked out. And with that, like obviously if you change something, things might not work out exactly how they did. So there's like no regrets with when and how we did it. It's just like the only thing is I just wish I had more time with it.
I am so glad that you just said that. We sit and we try and just scream it from the rooftops and talk about it in our socials and in the podcast. And that's everything everywhere that we have kind of that public platform. We try and talk about the planning process because all of this stuff does take time. And yes, in your head, even if you've had conversations with some of your guests about, hey, we're going to have a destination wedding. Hey, it's probably going to be, it's next year, and we don't know exactly when and whatnot. Guests are hearing it, but they're not actively working towards it. And so it isn't until you put pen to paper, till you tell them, hey, by the way, we need 60% of your room due by this date. Now all of a sudden they're like, oh,
Become real.
Yeah, it just got real.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the more time that you give them to take off of work, to plan on being out on a certain time of year, to make arrangements for the kids and the pets and the house, like they need to make sure that they're getting all this other stuff planned. The more time that you do that, the more of your guest list that you're going to get.
Mhm.
Now, on that same side, maybe you don't want your whole guest list, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's why some people do
We
it.
definitely had some people that we purposely knew they would not make the trip.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
I still had to send
That's
the
why I
invite.
did it.
Yeah, we still had to send the invite, but we knew they were not going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. So I think that's, it's those are good notes to take as you're, from we always talk about like the now you guys are the graduates and you're, it's you had the wedding, right? And that advice that you pass on to some of the newbies that are just getting into it. This is the important stuff. These are the things that
Yeah.
you need to know.
Yeah.
So on that note then, what do you think was maybe your favorite part of the process? What was like this was the best part of it? It's
Literally like everything. I'm gonna say every so I think as I noted before, he works overnights, right? So then like after I'm done with work, usually around like 6 or 7, that's like when I'm in my planning mode. Like and it was challenging because he's sleeping before work and I'm over here trying to handle all the coordinations and planning and stuff. And then when he would come home from work the next day, but now I'm on work and we're having like a meeting with each other to be like, okay, this is what I did the night before, this is the planning. And that to me at the time all felt so stressful and overwhelming. But then as soon as I didn't have to do it anymore, I was like, I miss this. I miss it all. I was like, I want to do it again. Like I was like, I like it's crazy. Like, Prissy, I'm not having to talk to you every single day. And I'm like, I don't like this. And then like even just like doing like the florals and working with the floral company that we had and doing like the design and getting like the different quotes. In the moment, all of that, yes. And like at that time is stressful because you're like hoping that this all comes together. But now that you did see it all come together, like, wow, that was worth it. And understanding, had I realized like that turnout would have been completely perfect like it was, I would do that time and time again. So looking back at it, and if you asked me this while I was doing it and while we were in the midst of everything, I would give you probably a completely different answer. But literally the process was my favorite part of the process, if that makes sense. And I mean, even just having you guys there to lean on, holding my hand, also because I know like I'm sometimes very quick with it. I'm like, oh, I got this email. I'll respond right away. I'll chime in and handle all of that. But just knowing like I had Prissy there to fall back on to guide me when I was uncertain, like all of that just made it 10 times better. And I just want to do it again. Like I'm gonna keep saying that. But the process was my favorite part. And then obviously the turnout was amazing.
I mean, hell, let's we're planning the anniversary. Let's do it.
Please,
I think
please.
I think that actually was the idea to plan it again because
Yeah, we want to do it
her
again.
parents and us have the same anniversary
Yeah.
now.
So
So
now it's just like a party every
yeah,
year.
so we might do it next
Mhm.
year.
Yeah, we were already talking
So,
about
yeah.
it.
Chrissy's your girl. She's got you covered.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
All right, so now the harder part, the flip the coin, right? What was your least favorite part of it? That's if it was me, you can say it on the podcast. Now's the time. So what was your least favorite part of planning, and something that you might want to do differently?
Do you have a least favorite part? Or do you want me to lead with mine? Because it's not even like a least favorite part. I will say,
I don't have anything negative to say about
yeah, there was
this
nothing.
whole
The only
yeah,
thing was just like some guests, I feel like they don't understand and
yeah.
comprehend.
I don't read
And
the emails.
I don't even know how you would change that. And I'm
Mhm.
just like, out of respect, just answer or respond or give an update because that was the only thing that just like drove me nuts. And there's nothing we can do about it because Prissy, aside you from showing up at their doorstep and knocking on somebody's front door, you did everything you'd be able to do. And I just think as a bride who does not, I'm anti-bridezilla. Like I appreciate everyone showing up for us, helping us, being a part of it, vendors, people who are paid to do that work. I still want to give respect to everybody and never be that mean, oh, this is about me, bratty
Mhm.
bride that I have experienced before, just being involved in weddings. And I was like, that is not going to be me. And it was a fine line of like trying to respect my guest and whatever their scenarios are, but while also like respecting our process and what we need to get finalized, how we need to move along, and just like not ever letting that get in the way of, I don't want to be mean, I don't want to be bitter, but like I do also need updates, answers, responses.
Mhm.
And I think like just navigating that in the conversations that we had to have along the way with some of our guests was a little challenging. And I would say probably my least favorite part because it creates a little bit of awkwardness. You're like, hey, I get that you're showing up for me, but like, hey, can you answer? Can you respond? Can you give an update? Like, are you actually going?
Help
So
you.
yeah, yeah, that was the part that was a little like, oh, don't love that, but it all worked out in the end.
I
Absolutely.
think that's our least favorite part as well. Nobody wants to be a bill
Yeah,
collector. Like nobody wants to be a bugaboo or a pest or hey, it's
yeah,
me again. But like with group travel, we need these things. We
mhm,
need the payments in by a certain deadline. We need your flight information
yeah,
because all of these things impact other things. So just help me help you. A little
yeah,
communication. Take a time, send me send me a small email, a quick note, something.
yeah,
But
yeah,
just ghosting us is the worst because we don't
yeah,
know what's happening.
yeah,
We
yeah.
had a couple people do it, so
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
even ghosts like you.
yeah,
And people, it just kind of shows the anxiety that's out there that
Yeah,
people can't, they feel like they
Mhm.
can't even respond because, oh, I can't make it to the wedding. That's fine. That's
yeah,
a destination wedding. I think one of our favorite things that Nikki says from our team is attendance is not required. Like,
yeah,
if
not
you
at
can't
all.
make it, we completely understand this, but we need to know that.
yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
I
But
think,
I also feel like sometimes people are sad that they are missing out and
Mm,
they're a little hurt and sad that they can't. So
yeah.
it's hard to put that final no, I'm not going to be able to attend on it
Mm,
because it's a hope and a prayer that something happens magically that they can.
Yeah, you're right
yeah.
about that as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I also found too, just like trying to have like very honest conversations with guests was helpful. Just like, hey, like, I really want you here, but also if you cannot make it, if there's something going on, just talk to me. Let's figure it out. Let's figure out a solution. Maybe you can make it. Maybe it can be last minute. Chrissy, I
Mhm.
know that I expressed, I had some friends who were going through some things. They're up in the air. They're trying to figure
Yeah.
it out. They really want to be there. And I got an understanding of what that looks like from you and for the resort. And I was able to communicate that. And those guys were actually able to be at the
Yeah.
wedding. So it all worked out if you can just have open as a bride,
Mhm.
understanding communication. Because again, at the end of the day, these people are showing up for you. I think that's so
Right.
important of just always trying to look at the other side of things and not take offense to it. Because we really had everybody that we wanted to be there at the wedding.
Yeah. And my one last note on that, I think a lot of times with guests, like especially me, I always want the penthouse, the rooftop, the preferred club, the bells and whistles.
Oh
Give
yeah.
me those bells and
I'm
whistles.
that guest. I'm guilty.
But a lot of times, if you just scale it back, right? I'm not going to do
Yeah.
7 nights in the penthouse. I'm just going to do 3 nights in a pool view.
Yeah.
That's a totally different commitment. It makes it possible for you to show up. Whereas when you're trying to do 7 nights and, all of the things, it's a lot different.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
think sometimes you never go into it looking at that pool view room just because I'm a rooftop girly, right? I
Yeah.
want the penthouse, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's worth it to just show up and take a pool
Yeah.
view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Tell Prissy to give me a call next time we have that debate because he's always like, just book a regular room. And I'm like, no.
Now,
No, what do you
I
mean?
mean, I
I'm a
do
regular
that.
girl.
regular.
Yeah, but that's what makes it difficult for certain guests to
Yes.
show up because, you know,
Hmm. Absolutely. It's, and I think that we actually had an entire podcast episode just on that, on the
Mhm.
communication from guests to the couples and making sure that they're letting the couple know what's going on because we are this, booking an entire wedding group is a lot different than booking your individual travel.
Mhm.
It's when we sign a room block and we're, first of all, the couple is taking the effort to put down a deposit and sign a contract and do all this planning ahead of time. It's so that the guest booking process can be as easy as possible. But also when we're doing that, you guys are taking on $100,000 liability. Prissy's taking on $100,000 liability. My name's on, there's no building, but my name's on the side of the building. I'm taking on $100,000 liability,
Yeah.
right? This is a large commitment. So when we're sending all those follow-ups and the texts and the emails, it's not because we want to be a pest and we want, like Prissy said, we want to be bill collectors. It's because we're all on the line for those funds, and we want to make sure that us as destination weddings expert are protecting the couple on the room block and make sure they're not taking any additional penalties because we're trying to make all that money go towards the wedding, right? I want to make sure
Oh
the
yeah.
wedding is everything that you want it to be. We don't want to be putting money towards a room that no one's actually staying in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always interesting on that part of the process. But I like, as we have our couples that kind of graduate and move after the wedding, they get to understand it. They get to see it. They
Yeah.
know what that looks like now, and now they're a little bit more well versed on it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So now my last question. This is one that is a little unique to you guys, but happens to a lot of couples, right? So as we talked about in the beginning of this one, this is a part 2 of an episode that the team had talked about what happens when the weather doesn't cooperate, right? And it's Prissy and I and the entire DWE team actually were on property when this happened with the guys. So we got to witness it and we just fell in love with your response to it. And so what happened to you guys with in regards to the weather?
Oh man.
I think it rained during the welcome party, right?
Yeah, so we did weather checks, 1 p.m. I think it was 1 p.m. with our planner.
I
And
think like a month ahead.
well, no, they start looking at it like the week of
Oh
when we
yeah,
got there.
yeah.
I mean, the weather always has rain.
Yeah.
We were worried about that, but then we learned that's just DR. At 1 p.m., the day of the welcome party, we did a weather check, no rain. She was even like, oh, it's like 2%, but that's no rain. We're like, great, perfect. So we're doing our rehearsal right before the welcome party. And during the rehearsal, there's a double rainbow, beautiful double rainbow. And I'm like, that's weird though. Why is there a rainbow? Like, okay, we took that as signs.
Yep.
We're like, yes, like this is meant to be. We're meant to be together. Not that we needed a sign that day, but we're those types of people. We always just look for signs.
Yeah.
So we saw the double rainbows, and then we're wrapping it up, and Marcy's like, "Oh, that looks like a rain cloud back there," and I was like, "Oh, do you think it's gonna rain?" She's like, "No, that's not in the forecast. It's gonna blow right over. If anything, it'll be like a little sprinkle." I'm like, "Okay, great." As you guys saw, welcome party was going on. We were having a blast, so much fun. And we feel a little bit of rain. I'm like, that's whatever. I think I said to you guys, I was looking at what a misting system would be because I knew it's June, we're in DR, it's probably hot. And then I was like, we don't need that. And then a full-on downpour just happens. Everybody, all like the girls, especially we have a lot of girls who are like, my hair, my makeup, those type of girls. Everybody's running for cover. And I'm like, damn, like we didn't want it to end like this. And Devon has his best man who took over my iPad.
Yeah, and he ended up playing "Can You Stand the Rain?"
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that song and the
ended
Pina
up
Colada
dancing.
song.
Yeah.
It was the Pina Colada song. So we had two like rain-based songs. We're like, well, who just sits around and you don't dance to these songs in the rain? So then we start dancing. Everybody follows suit. We have videos of like people doing, what was it, the electric slide or Cupid Shuffle? What's the
Yeah,
name
both.
of
Yeah, Cupid Shuffle.
Cupid Shuffle, like in the pouring rain. You still had a few people that were just like, I'm not getting wet, but like we embraced it wholeheartedly. I looked like a wet dog, but my makeup stayed put. That looked amazing.
I guess.
I was like, oh yeah, this makeup is legit. Um, and yeah, we just like honestly, that's my fondest memory. Well, I love everything. Just to say, like, you got a chance to dance in the rain in the Dominican Republic under the stars. Hopefully they were out at that point.
And it was hot.
And it was hot.
We had a couple lemon drops.
You had some lemon drops.
It felt good.
Yeah. Not a couple. I saw you. But
Did
just
the
like
Knicks win that night too? So it was just like perfect.
yeah,
Like
the Knicks won. And it like I think it just goes to say like embrace whatever situation you are thrown, whatever that is. And like everybody paid to be there. Why end the night that way? And that was such a special moment that is like literally forever embedded in our memories around the wedding. And especially like having my parents there, having your parents there, his dad who never flew before was there, and he was dancing in the rain, and he's like one of the quietest people. I was like, I love it. So, I mean, I just say embrace that because it's literally a once in a lifetime moment. You're not going to be there again with all of those people again. So I mean, a little bit of rain never hurt anybody. So
Absolutely. I think it's one of those things, Prissy, that's when we were there and we stopped by and we said hello and the first rain happened like when we were standing there I was like, oh no. But then we had gone back up to the lobby and Prissy came to me, she's like, they were just so phenomenal about it. They just rolled with it and embraced it, and this is now part of our welcome event. And it was so great to hear that because there's no amount of planning that will avoid something like that.
No, not at all.
Especially in the DR, especially in Mexico. You're in the tropics.
Yeah.
I live in South Florida, so
Oh my God, yeah.
And I was shocked you guys came too.
I know.
Yeah.
We love seeing that.
Yeah,
Honestly, seeing you guys during the welcome party.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, they are here. Because I know I had a couple people say, we saw Prissy. I was like, get out of here. No, you didn't. And they're like, no, we did. I was like, what? And then seeing you guys obviously made it. And honestly, like I would do it again with the rain. Like that made it too. It was just something to talk about. It was something special. It got people uncomfortable, which I think is also needed. It got people being like, there's, 20 other people out there dancing. Let me get up and not be that person that's just hiding under shelter and really like break the ice. Honestly, that's exactly what it did. And I mean, the resort's prepared. Had they saw rain in the forecast, they would have moved us somewhere else.
Yeah.
It was nobody's fault, it was at that point just out of our hands and might as well embrace it.
Yeah. People who aren't from kind of the tropics, they don't really understand, but it's, in my forecast, every day I've got rain in the forecast. I'm like, it's not going to rain. When you live there, you understand it. When you're an employee of a resort, you understand when things need to move and when they don't. And it is in your best interest and it is in their best interest to try and predict that as best as you can. There's a lot of expensive equipment that's out there that, is being used. There's a lot of just liability, you don't want grandma out there dancing on the dance floor and like you gotta be careful with it. So, it is a fine balance. It's also so much fun to see the couples that just kind of roll with it, embrace it, have a good time with it. And I'm so glad you guys had that opportunity to be able to do that.
Yeah, no, it was honestly amazing. And a core memory, just to say, we were all together, our parents, my uncle who is older, and I've never traveled with like that. And it was, my dad and him haven't traveled probably since they were younger together. And just such a special moment to have us all there, rain or not, dancing at just the welcome party. So, the wedding was even more fun.
Absolutely. Prissy, anything else that you want to go over while we got Abby and Devon?
Just want to say thank you. Like, I enjoyed working with you guys. I enjoyed working with your families. I love seeing glimpses of it. So just thank you for rocking out with us and trusting us with the process.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. You guys were honestly amazing. I would do it time and time again. And we'll plan we'll do a friends trip. I like that. We'll have to do it more of like an annual thing once everybody gets into the flow and just continue to keep it going, because it was a good time.
Yeah.
We'll definitely reach out. We have tons of recommendations and ideas.
I love that.
You guys, anything else that you want to add before we jump off? Advice to new couples?
Just go with the flow. Don't stress yourself out about it, because it all works out. People make sure it works out for you. And that's what you guys did. You made sure it worked out for us. The resort made sure it worked out for us. I know it's hard. I never saw Dreams. We never went there before. Just put your trust in these people, understand they're professionals. They do this for a living. And
just make sure you communicate.
Yeah,
that's the main thing.
Communication. Yeah, definitely that.
The same as a relationship as it is for a destination wedding. Keep that communication going.
Are you saying we're in a relationship now?
We are.
We got it. Welcome to this crazy family.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. It is so sweet of you to take the time and connect with us and to share your experience, share your advice. It really means a lot. We are super excited, and I'm sure we will be talking soon about a group trip.
Yes. Definitely. Thank you.
All right. We will talk to y'all soon.
All right,
Sounds
thank
good.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us. Want to learn more or ready to schedule your complimentary consultation? Follow us on Instagram at Destination Weddings Expert or visit our website at destinationweddingsexpert.com.